Muy buenos días a todos, bienvenidos como cada jueves a este live que tenemos en Unique Luxury para hablar del arte y para platicar con distintos personajes, personalidades, artistas. El día de hoy tenemos al artista florentino Michelangelo Bastiani, así que nos vamos a ir hasta Italia a platicar con él. Mientras que se une con nosotros, vamos a platicar de quién es Michelangelo. Él se graduó en el Instituto de Arte de Florencia y luego en la Academia de Bellas Artes, donde se especializó en pintura y fotografía con el maestro Gustavo Giulietti. Bastiani vivió en California y en Nueva York antes de regresar a la Toscana. Sus obras son instalaciones de video en pantallas grandes, proyecciones de video interactivas y hologramas, centrándose en elementos de la naturaleza y el estado de la materia. Utiliza la tecnología en sus representaciones del agua para utilizar su naturaleza dinámica y facilitar así una conexión directa y una interacción tangible con el espectador. Bastiani desarrolla sus instalaciones de hologramas y proyecciones de video interactivas en pantallas LED, explorando el tema de la liquidez con el agua representando la naturaleza esencial del arte en constante cambio. Basado en la teoría holográfica de Bohm, que habla que nuestro universo es un holograma gigantesco y espléndidamente detallado, en sus obras reproduce un microcosmos en una botella donde los videos bidimensionales por naturaleza se convierten en realidades sólidas y dinámicas. Es una percepción visual de la cual vamos a invitar, ya está aquí Michelangelo, vamos a explique un poquito más, vamos a darle la bienvenida, vamos a tener esta entrevista en inglés con Michelangelo. Estoy muy emocionada, preparen sus preguntas. Hello.
Hi.
How are you, Michelangelo?
Thank you for the interview, for the opportunity.
Oh, of course. I'm very
Thank you.
excited about this.
I'm happy to speak with the Mexican people. I love your country, so it's a great for me.
Thank you. Have you been into Mexico?
Yes,
Have you been in Mexico?
In Mexico, I did my first. Yes, I did my first solo show in Mexico.
Oh,
in San
okay.
Miguel de Allende.
Yes, beautiful
Guanajuato.
city. Exactly,
Yeah, I love
exactly. That. How long
was,
ago?
2006.
Okay, so we have to speak with Marc Hashem Gallery to make an exhibition.
Sure. I love
here in Mexico again.
Mexico City is fantastic for contemporary art, and so I think Mexico. You have that fantastic art fair, Zona Maco.
Yes, exactly.
I think actually is one of the best nations for contemporary art at the moment.
Yes, I agree with you.
First 10, maybe.
I agree with you, and I'm very excited. Thank you for your time, for giving us this interview. I remember I saw your work for the first time last year during Art Basel. I was walking around in Art Miami, and I met Marc Hashem in his booth. I saw this great bottle with a ballerina dancing inside the bottle, and I remember I went to speak to him, and he told me about you and introduced me to your art. So we are very excited to have this conversation with you today. And I want to thank to Marc Hashem Gallery for making this possible.
Yeah, no, Marc Hashem is a great galleries in Paris and Beirut, but he's worldwide with the art fair. We are always together. He always show my art in Miami, Paris, everywhere in the world where there are the best art fairs and exhibitions.
Yes. So here he is.
Together, and we like to work together.
Yes, you make a very good team, and I hope we can make this exhibition here in Mexico with his gallery.
and unique luxury art, so we can showcase these amazing video installations.
Thank you.
So tell me, because I know you specialized in painting, and photography as well, but when did you realize that painting was not your field of work to express your ideas and you switched to technology and videos?
I studied painting in Florence at the Academy of Fine Art, then I combined with photography because I was a photographer at the start. So, and after that, I went to United States and I experiment video art. And I think video art is more, it helped me to develop more the contemporary concept. Painting, it was good to start, and the sense of color give you the sense of dimensions, sense of proportion. So it's very important. I think it was very important from my experience, and photography too. But video, it's give you the dynamics, so you can show things that moving and that you can interact. And so I like to combine the previous experience that starts from the painting but goes to video and to interact, to direct interaction.
Okay. So how did you achieve to these ideas that you express through your visual perception through these video installations?
Well, I was a curator. I worked for a New York foundation for 6 years before I was an artist from the start. I mean, I studied at the academy, but for real job, I was a curator. And during these exhibitions, I visited many shows in Italy and New York, but I had the sensation that the observer sometimes was not involved in the show. And many times in contemporary art, people doesn't understand what they are looking for and what they are looking, because they doesn't know, it's conceptual. Sometimes it's hard to understand, and you have to read a lot of page of words to understand the artwork of the artist. So my idea was, my intention is to involve the spectators so they are part of the artwork. And sometimes when they are not really expert, when they are young children, or when they doesn't care about art, but they go to the exhibition, because people can go to your exhibition if they are not expert. You have to accept that. And if they come, they can be part of the artwork and be involved in that way. And then if you want to go deep and read what's happening and understand the artwork, you can do another step. But the art, I think, has to be for everyone, not only for a few people that the art critic, decide. So I think the first impression has to be to involve the spectators. So that's my start, to put a connection between art, the artwork, and the people observing. So that's the idea where I started.
And actually, I was going to ask you that if you had this intention of causing an experience already, you are saying yes, or also a reflection to the viewer, because I know, and we're gonna talk later about all the images or the videos, holograms that you work with is around the theme of nature and water. So there's a big reflection that maybe you want to create to the viewer about these themes, right?
Yeah, nature is the first inspiration. Was from the tradition of the art and water, natural elements. But the thing that is changing from the past is the new media. So it's video, it's interaction. But so I try to do real. Like real water or natural elements like clouds or fire, and but with new techniques, so people can understand the subject but can see it in a new way.
And was nature always your biggest inspiration? Why did you choose water? Because there's also a lot of water in all of your pieces or videos.
Well, water is interesting, you know, because it's part of us. It's you know, it's part of our body. But mainly, I like because it's hard to represent with all the other arts. If you think about to represent water with painting is almost impossible because water is always dynamic, and if you think in sculpture, it's art too because it's more static media. So video is the only way to show the dynamic of the water, maybe the sound, maybe the movement, and with the installation you can show a field of water, a space full of water, or a large area of water. And it's a thing that you can do with the traditional medias. So that was my attraction to be inspired by our natural elements, but show it in a contemporary way.
Yes, yes. And do you want to create also a message through these?
To create what, sorry?
Do you want to create to make a reflection through these water movements about this nature to the viewers?
Sure. In this period, it's very important to to reflect about ambient, about the water, about the ecological system, and I think it's a way. It's a way to involve people. One time I did a show in Milan, interactive projection on the floor of like large water was, and that was for help to build. In things in Africa for the water. So sometimes art is it helps to develop good things.
Yes, and create consciousness, right?
Yeah.
So is there a reason why you choose the locations where you project your works? For example, this video installation of that we have in the screen is like a Moroccan place.
Yeah, that's a castle close to my house. I live in the country of Florence, and it's closed now. It's closed to the public, and there is a foundation that is trying to reopen it. So my idea was to show contemporary art in a closed castle. That is fantastic. That is a small room, but the building is called San Mezzano, and it's very popular in Italy. And but it's close to the public and it needs restoration. So my idea was to show the castle with contemporary art and make it lives. So it's my intention is to cultural and to support too. I did one artwork for a Parkinson Foundation in London. We did a charity auction 2 months ago. So I like to combine art and charity or cultural ideas.
Yeah, art is the best way to speak out about ideas, about opinions, about making reflection, right? It's a
Absolutely.
very organic way, yes, and inspirational. So tell us more about.
That's in Capri.
This is in Capri.
This in Capri. It's a Villa Lisis. It's a villa of the Fats and Count. It's very beautiful villa. It's property of the Council of Capri, and we did an installation 3 years ago in the summer.
I love Capri. I had the opportunity to be there, I think, in 2009. And I ate the best pizza and I was in love with this magnificent view that we have, that we can see actually here in this piece that we have behind the screen.
Nice. So you can come back.
So yes, please invite me. I will be very happy to go and visit.
Yeah.
To come
sure.
back. So tell me more about the holographic bomb theory. I think it's fantastic. I must say this was the first time I studied about this theory about having the cosmic universe in this moment and space. So if you tell us more, I think you're an expert about that because your artworks have also that background. So if you
Yeah.
could tell us more about it.
I will try because it's it's an argument that needs scientific tools and experience. So I will explain in an artistic way. So will be not
Yes.
from a scientist expert. It's one of the Bombs theory. Is one of the theory of the start of the world, the origin of the universe. So it's a theory of this England scientist that thinks that our universe is a gigantic holographic world. So everything that we see, it's something that is in our imagination. So it's only like an image. It's created in that time. So it's hard to understand and to think about, but reflect a lot the sensation of the holograms, because you see something that doesn't exist, like a cloud in a glass, and 1 second after can disappear. So if you think that the glass is our universe and the cloud is ourself idea.
So that's why you use these bottles, crystal bottles, instead of any other any other container.
Well, the video remember me something that is from the house or something that we know. So the videos sometimes are called is a a nice technique to use technology, but sometimes technology is cold and it's far from ourselves, from our life, because it's bidimensional, it's inside a screen. So with bottles, glass, we have a connection with something that we know, something from the house, like a glass or a bottle, and something that remembers us something else. So that's important. Let's create a feeling to us, to get something, thinking about our past, and have a feeling with the art.
Same. Well, I am showing a bit of your artwork, so people can
Thank you
see
for
the
this
images.
selection. You did
No,
a very
yes,
good job.
thank you, thank you. I want to people see what you are explaining to us. I'm sure it's very different. I can tell that it's very different when you see actually the piece. I remember that the ballerina that I was talking about, it was very real. And I wanted to ask you about that. Is how do you make your works become a paradox, reversing the roles of man and nature trapped by the hand of man? You know?
Yeah, this is a dancer from Naples, San Carlo Theater. She's a professional dancer. It's called Sarah Jason. And we did a video in a studio. So I film her dancing. I tell her, the movement she knows very well. But I tell her how to stay into the bottle and how to looks great in this specific kind of art. So I like to combine video filming with real models, dancers, and the computer. So the cloud is a computer creation. So it's not filmed and it doesn't exist. This is a real woman and important dancer from the Theater San Carlo. So combination from real and unreal make me interested. This is like a tornado is created with computer.
Yes.
3D animation.
So what's your next for you in terms of your career? How I see the evolution in all of the art videos you are making, but where are you going in your career? What's next for you?
The next, I would like to combine one day, I don't know how, but to combine the interactive projection with the holograms. So make something that includes all together. Maybe a large installation with a complete experience. Because the holograms make you feeling something that doesn't exist with a volumetric way. And the interaction, like a digital projection on the floor, like this picture, that make you involved in the artwork. So you can walk on it and with the artwork moving the water or doing something that changed the shape of the artwork. So I don't know how at the moment, but I hope in the future I can do.
So now that you are saying this, what could you say that the viewer brings to your works?
I don't understand. Can you repeat?
Yes, what could you say that the viewer brings to your works in that moment of experience where they are walking your piece, where they are in this experience, immersive experience? What do you think that this viewer brings to your work, like adding to your work?
Well, the experience, I like to work with my artists. I try to do for everyone. So from children to average. I have collectors from 80 or 90, and I have children that loves my art. So I think I expect that they are interested and that they go to look and take curiosity and think about it and ask questions if I'm there or if the gallery is there and be part of the artistic process. So I expect to involve people more as possible.
And do you think that this world situation of COVID has changed your perception in some way, or is gonna change also your messages in your artworks?
Well, I did that picture of me in the bottle during the coronavirus, so maybe change our mind for sure. But I hope, art will survive. I hope artists, I know that many artists didn't produce that much artwork during the coronavirus. It was not a prolific period for art. For me, neither was hard to think about art and without to see people, without to live the life, the artistic experience is worst, I think. Maybe not for everyone, but for many. In general, I see collectors, we did an art fair in Paris 1 month ago, and we saw collectors, it was in Grand Palais, it was a beautiful building, and we saw collectors that really want to come back to see art fair and see art. So I think people really wants to go back to before the virus.
Yes, yes. I think that, well, it's normal that I hope it's not going to get so normal that we go to the same habits or to the same speedness that we were living life, right? I don't know if this situation has affected your work or your messages, but it is true that it has been a time where even nature has been having a change, because of all these confinement and change in our world. Even we can see again different colors at the sea, the sky, the animals. So I don't know if all these has passed in your mind. Have you thought about this to affect your work in the message or the images that you are going to create?
No, I was thinking seriously about this. I was worried about, but the artist, I think, doesn't have to worry about that. The artist has to trust in what he does and try to show, if he wants to show the best of what we have and show something new, and help the people to, in some way, to have better moments and to think to positive things. That's what I want. Not all the art is positive, but I think positive messages and like natural elements or interaction is very important now, maybe more than before.
Yes, and you that work a lot with the water, there's so much investigations and theories about all the messages that they have researchers having these experiments of the messages that you put into water, or the thought that you put into water, and how the water represents, or the color it has, or the forms that it gets. So it's a way of what you are saying, right, about the positive thoughts and these